What's up, guys? It's MUGZY, upcoming hip hop artist from Sydney, Australia, of the land down under. And this is my, I guess you can say, Q&A, questions and answers to getting to know about me. I'm your boy MUGZY, the 5-element hip hop knowledge kiddo from Sydney. But this is for Hustle Hard Press, and I'm just going to tell a little bit about my backstory, how I got into hip hop, how long I've been doing it, and yeah, just the journey along the way. So, 28. Started doing hip hop music or learning about it when I was the age of 14. That was roughly like 14 years ago, the early thousands era, where we had artists like Eminem, of course, 50 Cent, Jay-Z, man, the South, like Chameleon Air. Pretty much they call it the platinum era, the triple X large and the baggy clothes and the chains and all that. And I always say, man, something about that era was just the pinnacle of like hip hop, man. Obviously we got the golden era, which was lyricism and bars and stuff, but I don't know, man, something about the early thousands always captures that flavor for me, man. But I remember being in my 14 years, man, just a while in that teen, with going with the wrong crowds, fighting through my adolescence of mental health and depression. And around that time, man, I feel that hip hop at its was at its peak. Like I said, like I remember going home and it'll be on like BET and VH1 and MTV, and just looking at these guys of having this raw aggression of whatever society, whatever circumstance or situation they would be put through. They would know how to flip the script and use this rhythm and poetry of hip hop to speak about the message, to, I guess, change a difference in their own communities, their own societies, lives, even the world, and just make that difference. And that's what I want to do, man. Like, I use that as a therapeutic standpoint, just with my own inner struggles. But I remember at that young age, man, like these shows from BET and VH1 would be playing, evolution hip hop shows where it'd be like the 70s, like, Grandmaster Caz and Grandmaster Flash and Cool Herc, the founding fathers and the Boogie Down Bronx. And then you had the 80s, which was like, Eric B, Rakim, LL Cool J, Run DMC, even like the likes, being a white MC, like MC Search and Third Base, and the Beastie Boys, even the likes of Vanilla Ice. And then you had the 90s, which was obviously the golden era, like Nas, Tupac, Biggie, Big L, Big Pun, Eazy-E, that whole NWA, West Coast movement, and the Death Row movement. And just over the years, man, like I would see the evolution of what it's come to. And I remember like OGs like, KRS-One and Ice-T, and man, like, Chuck D, like, would preach in their interviews saying, when you come into the house of hip hop, because it was brought on uniqueness and authenticity, and it's such an influential kind of platform to whoever's listening to it. Yeah, you can have your influences and guidance, but if you're really mimicking what they're doing, and not finding your own path in your own story, in your own structure, you're really going to be frowned upon with as a true MC in the house of hip hop. And so, man, like, I mean, at that age, that was really insightful to me, to be like, yo, like, obviously starting off as a teen, you want to write about, the mansion, the girls, the cars and stuff. But I'm thankful at that young age that really sparked something in my brain from those OGs to be like, that's not what hip-hop's about. Hip-hop's about the message and, whatever you want to change in the world. So instead of, writing about the narcissistic side, like me, MUGZY, one I used to sort of give back. And over the course of time, from, 14 to 28, released 2 albums, received radio play worldwide, interviews and vlog features worldwide, a ton of acting parts. I've spoken and taught, the culture and my elements and my methods of hip hop to, one of the best universities here in Australia, UNSW, University of New South Wales, and done youth group and just so much more stuff, man. And, that's just because of my hustle and my grind to get any exposure possible, because like I said, any exposure is great exposure, and it doesn't matter, small, medium or big. If they're willing to reach out to me or willing to give me a shot and say, hey, can we, share your page, or can we get MUGZY out there? I've done my job properly, because I don't have an ego, which is you need to have this amount of followers for me to ride with you, or this amount of likes and whatever the case on this whole social media shit, man. Like, if you're just starting out and you're like, hey, can we just share your page or something, hit up my inbox, man, because that's great for me. But yeah, man, like, I mean, I'm thankful that I came into touch with the culture of hip-hop. It's changed me into the man I am today, the way I walk, talk, dress, opinionated, overall atmosphere and society views and what I see in the world. And I always say, if someday, I mean, like, if tomorrow I wake up and hip hop didn't exist anymore, then you've lost me as a person, you've lost my identity. And that's a little brief discussion about me, the 5 elements, hip hop knowledge, kiddo, MUGZY from Sydney, Australia, the land down under, the home of the Hugh Jackmans, Chris Hemsworth, the Crocodile Dundees, and of course MUGZY for Hustle Hard Press Magazine. So check me out at MUGZY, but it's worldwide viewers, that's MUGZY, MUGZY on Facebook, and keep supporting my movement. Peace!